Good afternoon and welcome back to another product live stream. My name is Michelle. I'm a certified aromatherapist and I'm here to help you become an aromatherapist in your own home. So I'm really glad that you're here with me today. Today is fun and I had to go ahead and get started on our project because it's going to take a while. And as you can see by my mess, this is one of my messier days, but it won't be messy for you because I already did everything. And I just really want to talk to you today about something that's really fun to make. They're called lotion bars. And before we get started, I want to remind you that there is an order now button right down below you. And this order now button will allow you to order any of the N8 Essentials products from the comfort of this video while we're watching. So please go ahead and punch that. Go ahead and click that button. And I wanted to tell you what the products we're going to use today because I think these are going to be great for you. I have a hard time settling down at night. Not only do I have a hard time settling down, but I always just feel like my legs just want to move. And I get really irritated by that. So the products that we're using tonight we're making lotion bars that will allow for me to rest my mind and put my body at ease so that, one, I will have a more restful sleep, and it will help promote definitely a more restful legs. So the product that we're going to be using is lavender. If you don't have lavender, please go ahead and order that. If you don't have clary sage, I know we've talked about clary sage a lot. I'd like you to go ahead and order clary sage. And of course our beautiful frankincense, and you might run out, so order more if you don't have it. And our beautiful, beautiful vetiver. Vetiver is a wonderful essential oil that I would love for you to have. It's very grounding, very earthy, and it's really wonderful. And I don't know if you can see the steam rising, but I'm like all nervous because I have everything around here. So I'm going to try to get some of this stuff out of the way real quick. So if you don't have those oils and you want to make this quite simply, and I want to tell you to get our Nature's Relief. This is an amazing essential oil that will allow you to just promote your muscular system in your body. So go ahead and get this, and you can put this inside our lotion bars. And the other one that's amazing to promote a restful sleep is the Tranquil Blend. So again, Nature's Relief is a blend already made, and so is the Tranquil Blend. If you really don't want to be doing the aromatherapy, mixing all of your essential oils. So go ahead and make sure that you click order now. And I'm just so happy that you're here. And this is a great project for Mother's Day, which we're coming up on very, very close. I am starting to see that my concoction is melting. And the reason I had to start this beforehand, you'll see in just a moment, is you will notice that we have a big, I'm going to pull this out for you, a big skillet. When I looked online on how to make lotion bars, it was like, oh, get a big skillet and you can use your muffin tins and have a dowel. So I got this dowel at Walmart. It was very, very easy. It was like 50 cents. And I put this on here and I tried to make these lotion bars and it took a long time. I mean, it was a crazy long time. So I ended up having to take the dowels off and putting the whole muffin pan into the skillet. And then I had a hard time getting it out. So really, if you see this on the internet, you can do it if you want to make a lot at the same time, but it's not necessary. And I also wanted to show you actually the exciting part of what we're making, getting all excited about this, is that we're making lotion bars. And lotion bars are amazing because they are actually waterless lotion. And you can put it on your skin. It has a nice scent to it. Very easy to make, very nourishing to the skin, but at the same time, you have the aromatherapy effects. And these last a long time. In fact, this lotion bar is much bigger, and I have to thank you, Linda. Linda from Pennsylvania is the lotion bar queen, and she is one of our N8 customers, and I just love her dearly, and she helped me perfect this recipe. So I want to thank you. And if you're in Pennsylvania near her, you can go to her N8 Community Day, and she will be teaching you hands-on how to make these lotion bars in the comfort of your own home. So I'm going ahead and starting to make this little concoction. It's starting to heat up, and I will show it to you as we get going. I just want to make sure that it's there. So the other thing that I want you to know is that you can buy these silicone cupcake molds, but here's another, like a baking mold. If you've seen these before, you know that they use them to make candies or little bars of soap, but isn't that beautiful? It's a beautiful flower. And not only that, but they smell wonderful because I have put essential oils into them, and I made like 5 different batches with 5 different essential oils. And I do want to tell you that if you want to use food coloring, it does not work because of the way that we heat up the essential oils. So you really need cosmetic coloring. That would help you, or maybe soap coloring would help you as well. But food coloring won't work in this when you go to do that. So I hope you're excited like me. I give these out as samples to people. In fact, I just gave someone today who was very anxious, and I had a nice blend in there, and she took it home with her, and she said, I just need this. So this is a great project, and I'm going to move this out of the way now, though, because our little concoction's getting hot. Okay, so what are the ingredients that we need? Well, we're going to need beeswax, and that's getting very hot. We're going to need beeswax, and what's great about beeswax is that I know that we are 100% USDA certified organic essential oil, but when you make a product, you could get it unbleached or you can get it bleached. And if you get it bleached, your product will turn out white. But if it's unbleached, it will probably have a yellowing color to it. So I just want you to be aware of that. So we're using beeswax, and then we're also using nut butter. And that's any nut butter. So what that means is like a shea butter. And before this gets hot, I'm going to show this to you. I have already put in here the beeswax. So we have put in 3 tablespoons of beeswax, okay? And then you'll see this nut butter here. This is shea butter. And again, if you want the shea butter to be white, you need to get it bleached. But other than that, we're using organic shea butter here. So, and it's starting to melt. And we're using the double broiler method. And I don't typically like to use this when I teach my classes to individual aromatherapists. This is great for if you're making really big batches, but if you're making small batches and you've been following me, you know I love my handy dandy butter maker, and this is great if you just want to make a few. So today we're going to make heart lotion bars. So I got the heart little silicone cupcake makers, and I just got these at your local craft store. But if you just wanted to make one, you can still use your mold and just make it in here. So the rule of thumb, so write this down, the rule of thumb is 1/4 beeswax, 1/4 nut butter, and 3/4, I'm sorry, I said that wrong, 1/4 beeswax, 1/4 nut butter, and half of carrier oil. And the carrier oils, as you know, are going to be almond oil or olive oil, which we carry at N8 Essentials, so you can put that in your order. And it doesn't take that much. I'm going to go ahead as this is starting to melt. And what we, again, we did it in a double broiler, which means that there's water on the bottom and it's boiling, and then it is inside of there. Now, typically you don't want to touch it, but this is you could hear the water, but you see there's water inside of there, and it is starting to melt. I'm using a glass stir rod, and how we did this is I only used 3 tablespoons of beeswax. So if I use 3 tablespoons of beeswax, how many tablespoons of nut butter should I use? 3, right? So the same amount of beeswax as nut butter, and then I'm going to use, and then I used 3 ounces of carrier oil, okay? And that should make me 1 ounce bars of my heart. The trick is that we don't want it to scorch the bottom. We just want it to melt, and it is really starting to melt here. So those essential oils that we're using are lavender, all right, and we're going to be putting in 27 drops of lavender, clary sage, and frankincense, which is marvelous, and vetiver. Now, if you notice, I have the lid off of vetiver. The reason I have the lid off is because vetiver is really thick. Now, if I was making a really big batch and I was in class, I would be weighing the products. But because we're a home aromatherapist, it's really okay if we go a little bit over or a little bit under. I mean, very little is going to be just fine. So we're just continuing to melt this, and it was funny. If there's too much water in the bottom, it will start to boil over. And so we're good to go. When we're done and it's completely melted, we're going to drop our essential oils in. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I know a lot of you guys are counting with me. So this one we'll probably have to cut. These product live streams are hard to do. This is actually really good for my face, isn't it? So these product live streams are hard to do live with no editing because it takes so long to pour the essential oil. So the beeswax is almost completely melted. You do want to wait until the shea butter and the beeswax is completely melted. And now we're going to do our frankincense. And for all of you budding aromatherapists out there, let's talk about each of these essential oils. Frankincense is a base note. The base notes are heavier. When you're talking about perfume, those are the notes that are usually really heavy at the bottom of the smell. I had to do my count. And then we have lavender and clary sage, which are top note, well, really middle notes. Okay, so you'll see how thick this vetiver is. And I'm pretty good at this. So these are really, really, really big drops. Right? And these are called pipettes, okay? So I know that this is a little more intensive product live stream than you're used to, so make sure you take notes. I know that there'll be the recipe that's on there, and we are almost completely melted and everything is done. I wanted to show you, a lot of you that can will understand what this is, but if your jar tends to get really heavy, typically you could pick it up like this and bring it out. See how it's almost completely melted, right? I'll go ahead and turn off my stove because we're finished. But because it was in a double broiler, it's not really as hot as you think. So you can pick it up as long as you don't touch it down there. That's pretty hot. So here is the thing. You really want to put the essential oils in after you remove it from the water. I was really close, so that wasn't a problem. And then we're going to bring this right here. Oh, I can't do it because it's so hot out, so we'll do it right here. And I'm going to bring this over. Make sure if, you see if I have a little towel. You can use a towel if you'd like. And you just want to pour it into the glass. It tends to go fairly quickly. It will start to solidify because of the beeswax. I'm not even sure if you can see it. They're beautiful. These are going to be so pretty. And people love these as gifts. I mean, a lot of people don't have time to make them. So go ahead and be a blessing. Use your oils and help them to become better. But again, if you are a preferred customer with N8 Essentials and you have your local N8 Essentials advisor, they are doing monthly community days, and you can come and they'll be doing projects for you, because at N8 Essentials, we want to equip you to be the aromatherapist in your home. And I do want to let you see how the beeswax is already solidifying. That is very, very normal. Go ahead and touch it at the top. And here we go. We have a beautiful lotion bar, and what's really important is that you put it in the refrigerator right away. If you wait too long and leave it setting on the counter, it will actually beat up a little bit. So it's really great to get it right into your refrigerator, and you want to put it on a cutting board because the silicone is going to move, and you want to make sure that all your inserts are flat. So that's it. That's how you make a lotion bar. It really doesn't take that long. In fact, again, for all my little home aromatherapists, I would love to see you use this. If we went with the recipe, this is how it would work. A teaspoon of beeswax, a teaspoon of nut butter, and then how much of your carrier oil do you think that would be? So if we did a teaspoon, then we would do 2 teaspoons of carrier oil, and that would make us 1 ounce, a little bit, almost close to an ounce of your lotion bars. So thank you so much for joining me today at N8 Essentials. I am so happy to help you become the aromatherapist in your home, and I'd like to ask you to tune in every week, and I'm really looking forward to next week where we talk about the digestive blends. Thank you for joining me. Go ahead and hit that click now button, and I'll look forward to you using your lotion bars and giving us some feedback. Thank you, and have a blessed day. Miles, 500 miles a minute. So that is the water. Okay, I had too much water in